All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, based on my time zone. How are you all? I hope you're ready and excited as I am for this webinar today, where we will be talking about Microsoft 365 Copilot in a scenario-based context, mainly focused on operation role. If you've been with us on those webinars before, you know that you're going to need to sign into Microsoft Teams with your actual name and email for us to be able to communicate with you after the training and after the webinar and send you all the recordings and so on. So make sure that if you're signed in with your corporate account or personal account, the email is there. If you signed in as guest, make sure the email is there. We have Brita here today. Brita, tell us, have you used Microsoft 365 Copilot? Brita, are you there?
Apologies, I think I missed the question. Sorry.
Yeah, have you tried Microsoft Copilot?
I have, but I've got limited use in terms of license currently, so not too in details, just for general questions, checking frameworks, things like that.
So you don't have the actual Copilot license yet. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't have the license, you can pretty much do basically similar things. Let me just show you one interface here that will show you the difference. Yeah. Well, I hope you can see my screen. Can you?
Yes.
I hope you can read. I mean, it's too tiny, yeah, at your end. Well, let me summarize this for you. Well, what you have right now is basically this tier here. You have the free Copilot, right? Not the Microsoft 365 Copilot. So the free Copilot can pretty much do similar things to what you can achieve with Microsoft 365 Copilot, except certain differences that I will highlight right now. And it mainly around or revolves around the integration with the other Microsoft 365 applications and tools. Yeah. But in both scenarios, you'll be able to ask questions, generate content, upload your files, and so on. And in both scenarios, the most important thing is that you will get enterprise level encryption and protection for your data. All right. So whether you're using the free one or you're using the enterprise one, you still your data is still secured, and Copilot does not learn from your data. Copilot does not retain your data, unlike other generative AI tools like ChatGPT, for instance. And Iman, tell us.
Yeah, I have
You
a
hand.
question actually.
Yes, please.
All right. So you just mentioned that Copilot does not take our data, even with the free one, correct? Did I
Yes.
understand this correct? Okay. So unlike other let's say AI services where when you don't pay, you are the product. So in this case, no, across board, it just does not use our data. Did I understand this correct? I can't hear you.
And I said yes, 100%.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
So to put this in an example, even if I paid for ChatGPT and I'm using the subscription tier of it, anything I share with ChatGPT will be used to train ChatGPT. ChatGPT will keep the data. So anyone ask any question, It will expose my data happily. Copilot doesn't do that, whether with the free one or the paid one. Yeah, that's to the bottom of it. Now, if you're using the free version, your Copilot is web grounded, which means you cannot use it with seamless integration with your corporate data, right? So you will have to upload files to Copilot, because you can pretty much upload in both of them. Yeah. But the enterprise level will allow you to will allow Copilot to be work grounded, not web grounded. Yeah, which means it will see your data by default. And a very simple example is that on Microsoft Teams, for instance, if I go to Copilot, once it populates its interface, I can click on add content, and then I can see my files, my emails, my meetings, everything. All right, unlike the free one where I would have to upload. Yeah. Now, the next tier of Copilot, once you know all the capabilities of Copilot, you would want to extend Copilot capabilities, all right? Which means you want to build agents in order to do more with Copilot, in order to connect Copilot to other applications. So agents are available for both, but let me explain how. If you want to create your own agent, you can do this with the free version as well. Yeah, you want to create, you want to pin, you want to use grounded web data agents, you can. But to use the Microsoft created agents, which has access to Microsoft Graph, meaning your corporate data and documents, you will need to be on the Microsoft 365 tier. You need to subscribe, right? But if you want to build your own agent, feel free. Even with the free Copilot, you still can build your own agent. If you want a personal assistant to work with your Microsoft 365 applications, that's only available for the paid version. All right. And as we mentioned, the big difference between Copilot and the other applications is the enterprise level protection. Yeah, enterprise data protection. Everything works under the governance and security controls that your organization have in place. That was a quick thing about to answer Preeta's doubts, in case you had any, yeah, around what version am I having and what are the capabilities that I will get if I have the corporate license or the enterprise rights license, which is called Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, let's begin. What we will talk about today is mainly persona use case scenarios for Copilot, and the focus on today's webinar is the operation team. But before we delve into the details, here are top 10 prompts and ways to use Copilot you gotta try first. All right. So if you haven't tried Copilot, if you have the license, we have some new arrivals to the call. Please let us know if you have the Copilot license or not. Type it on the chat window. So if you have the Copilot license, you will be able to recap meetings. Okay, every meeting it gets transcribed. People usually think that, oh, the meeting has to be recorded for Copilot to be able to capture the meeting. No, the meeting has to be transcribed. All right, the transcription has to be on. And then when the transcription is on, if I click on show transcription, you can see Copilot is capturing everything that I say. All right, that's how I can actually access Copilot during the meeting and ask Copilot to recap this meeting. If Copilot has enough information, it would recap it. If it doesn't have enough text yet, then it won't. And there we go. I got my recap. And it goes like introduction about Copilot. Ayman said 1 and 2. Copilot licenses, data security in Copilot, integration, functionality, and so on, building agents, and that's pretty much what we spoke about. At the end, it's offering whether you want to save it in a Word document or copy the data, take it somewhere else, or use one of the follow-up prompts provided in here. Right, so this is one thing you need to know first. Second thing, summarizing email threads. Yeah. So for those who did not attend our previous webinars, I'm just going to walk you through some of these because these are the basic capabilities that you need to know before you go into an advanced scenario. So let me access my training email. There you go. Now we have for instance, this long thread of email. Now, usually, when I click on summary by Copilot, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't work, don't worry. You can click on a thread of emails like this one, for instance, and then click on Copilot icon at the top right corner of the screen, and then select Chat with Copilot and ask for Copilot here to summarize this email thread. All right, that's the prompt. And then Copilot will go through the thread and give you a brief summary. And this is even better because now I'm in control of the summary. I can say summarize it in a table and put the action items and so on, so on. So I get to control the output, how it looks. All right, that was one thing that you need to try. Now, if you haven't tried drafting emails with Copilot, it's the experience is really nice and easy. All you have to do is once you go into the new email interface in Copilot, Copilot is right here offering help. You click on the Copilot icon, and then Copilot will ask you, what do you want to do? Let's say send, all right, a confirmation email about today's webinar, all right? And there you go. And then Copilot will craft this email for you. Then you have some options here to make it shorter, to make it longer, to even change the tone of the generated content in here. So that was drafting emails, and then summarizing document is pretty nice. Let me access Microsoft Word, for instance, because the same option works for Word, PowerPoint, and so on. I'm just accessing Microsoft Word to show you summarization, and I will start with an existing dummy data. There we go. I got this market trend for a fiction company called Contoso and their product Protein Plus. All right. This could be a proposal. This could be scope of work. This could be any ready content that I want to dig deep and understand. And I don't have time to read all these pages. Yeah. So I will click on Copilot, and then the first prompt suggested by Copilot is going to be summarizing this document. So let's click on the first prompt that will appear here, which is summarize this doc. And that will send the prompt for us to Copilot. Copilot comes back with the summary of this document. Now, the nice thing is Copilot always adds references. You see here 4 and 5. So this is where on the document they got this summary from. If you want to know, you click on the reference and then it takes you to the exact paragraph where it used to summarize or it used to come up with the summary. And if you're on office.com, you see, you will get different experiences as well. Let me just access OneDrive and Word and those applications online, and I will show you what I mean. Just allow me a second. I'm pulling up my gears and accessing my apps. So we got Word online. Yeah, why not? All right, so I had the last training was in Arabic, so I had to switch the whole interface in Arabic. Don't mind that. Me myself, I can't find the stuff because they're all the way to the right side. Let me switch to another tenant. Sorry for that. All right, sign out. And sign back in with a different account. Just a second. Meanwhile, if you have any question, any scenario you'd like to see, you're wondering maybe whether Copilot can do this or that, please let me know, and I will address that immediately right here with a demonstration. Yep, now I can find my stuff. All right. So let's say I have a Word document. I'm just gonna start with this demo. Yeah, demo document. Again. Okay. Let the document open. You see, usually when you access PowerPoint and Word online, you get a little bit different experiences. The summary is one of them. The summary is there by default. Once you access a document online, Copilot immediately summarizes the document for you. And if you want to get insights, it would immediately generate insights for you. Yeah. Key numbers and so on this document: 30 staff members, 7% cost reduction, and so on. These are insights. Suggested questions, maybe you have what is the main focus of May and so on, and these are answers from your document. All right, so that was insights. So either summary or insights, or maybe discussion happening within the document in case the team is leaving some comments and they're discussing around modifications or the way forward and so on. So this is all generated by default. The summary could be a brief summary, or maybe you want it to be more detailed summary. So you have the choice of how to generate the summary with out-of-box options. But then this icon here allows you to open up Copilot panel. I believe I need to set my label first. This usually opens up the Copilot summary, you see, and then now you have more conversations with Copilot. So these are some stuff that you need to know before combining them into one process and a whole scenario. Copilot can tell you anything you want about a certain project or a certain initiative and so on. So we can do this in several ways. I can access the Copilot interface, or I can access Microsoft Teams. As long as I'm in Teams and I make sure that I'm under the Work tab here, I can say, tell me more about our Copilot adoption program. Yeah. And then I could have mentioned people. I was like, I can go like, tell me more about this and what is new from this person, right? And then it would grab information related to our project, all right? Similarly, Copilot can suggest ideas for you. Copilot can help you paraphrase something in creative writing and so on. What did this person say about this topic? This is another prompt that you can use. In Excel, Copilot can help you generate Excel formulas and translate messages as well. So these were 10 things to try first before you move into persona-based training. The rest of the prompts available on this website, where I will paste it on the chat window for everyone in a second. All right, this is a prompt gallery and a prompt library for you to explore more. So if I scroll all the way down, you see prompts, and then I click on view all prompts. This will take me to the actual prompt gallery, which can be filtered by app. Like if you want to know what I can do in OneNote, for instance, based on a certain tasks, maybe I want to create, maybe I want to specify my job role or industry and so on. And then you get sample prompts that you can try right away. Maybe I want to draft a user guide introduction. So I click on the prompt. Here is the prompt. You can make it by your own, and they're giving you instructions on how to do that. Or you can just copy it and use it. If you want to quickly try it, maybe you click on try it in Word. Yeah. And these are the open documents in my desktop right now. Maybe I want to try it on a new document. So I click on new, and that should open a new document with this prompt for me to try it. So here is the new document. And it should populate the prompt immediately for me to test it. But if this happens, you can simply copy the prompt and come back in Word, click on the draft with Copilot icon, and then paste your prompt in here. The next step is for you to customize the prompt. Yeah. So introduction for what exactly? And what are the details? Do you want to add supporting documents or not? And then start crafting and drafting with Copilot. Right. So whether you're on the web or you're on the run or you're on a desktop environment or on your laptop, Copilot is there to help. All right, so we got the guide as we requested. Now, the value of AI within your organization is a journey. A journey that begins with realizing the value for individuals first. So through the use cases that we will see today, we will walk you through use cases in the shoe of an operation team member. Once you try those use cases, then you will notice the seamless integration of Copilot with the other applications and how easily you can meet your KPIs with the help of AI. Another value can be realized on a higher tier, that is the functional value. And basically, when each individual in a team can actually leverage AI in order to do the tasks that they do in a better way and a faster way, then that means well, there is a chance now for automation on the department level or the team level or the function level. So we will see during the slides today some role-based agents and functional use cases. This will drive the appetite and will drive and will allow us to extract actually the value for the organization, where what process that we can actually automate in a way where we reach autonomous agents. And I will tell you the difference between agents and autonomous agents. This is the value journey that we will go through by the scenarios that we will discuss today. And those scenarios has some effort levels that you see on the slide. Yeah. So if a scenario is on the effort level 1, that means you can achieve that scenario using Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, yeah, which is a web-grounded Copilot, or you can use a web-grounded agent to do the same or to achieve the same scenario. But if the scenario is on effort level 2, this is where you're gonna need a licensed AI, yeah. So that's Microsoft 365 Copilot. Security Copilot could be dynamic Copilot, so you need some licenses here, yeah. Scenario level 3, this is where you go into tailoring the scenarios or tailoring the use of Copilot to meet your departmental needs, yeah, or functional needs. So we're talking about agents connected to SharePoint. You're talking about building your own agents. We're talking here about Copilot Studio and so on. And the last effort, which is 4, that takes it beyond building your own agent in Copilot Studio, and that takes it to the Azure AI Foundry. And I will tell you the difference between these two when we reach that level. Do you have any questions so far? All right. Let's carry on then. Let's see the use of AI, Microsoft Copilot, and the stack of technologies within it in operations. Now, the scenarios prepared for you, there are general scenarios for that role, or the sub roles within the same operations theme. So it might not be the same exact thing that you're doing, but you will be able to relate. So they're built around the most useful and important use cases that will actually impact or have a direct impact on your KPI. Yeah. And then we'll end with a day in a life of an operational or operation pro. So the roles considered within these scenarios are maybe a business manager, you could be engineer, operations manager, or a frontline worker. The opportunities and the impact on the operations KPI discussed during those scenarios are as follows. Increasing employee satisfaction, managing risk, and operational efficiency. When we're talking about employee satisfaction, well, it's as simple as if the employee can do his or her job as fast as possible with less errors and better outcome, then that's what I want, right? So we will leverage Copilot to streamline operations and enhance efficiency and deliver exceptional service, ensuring the employee satisfaction. Copilot will help you manage your risk. Yeah, Copilot will give you real-time insights into safety, whether you're compliant or not, and anti-corruption measures as well. When it comes to operational efficiency, you will gain intelligent assistant, yeah, that optimize your workflows, automates your workflows, automate the repetitive tasks that you do, and maintain the highest standard of process excellence. Now, the scenarios are categorized, as I told you, into different efforts: start, buy, extend, and build. The scenarios that we will discuss are these 5 scenarios, including from simplifying tasks for operations employees on the effort 1, and then create change management plan, conducting a business review, executing a project review. But if you want to extend the capability, one sample scenario we want to share with you today is how to create a supplier RFP using agents and so on. So the roles, as we discussed earlier, when it comes to the roles impacted or the roles included in this scenario, when it comes to employee satisfaction and KPI, that could be service manager, operation manager, change management, product designer, all these roles. However, the technology stack we're using for this scenario is Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot for Service. Now, I don't think you know what Copilot for Service is. Yeah, you see, Copilot for Service is one Copilot that, in short, can be attached to your service center, call center. All right. Let me take you to the landing page. It has a different license. It has a different pricing tier and so on. You need to know the technologies before we delve into the scenarios. So there you go. This is Copilot for Service, yeah, which will be there as a service call center agent, would help your agents, will be the agent that answer the calls, and it has a lot of capabilities. The website is there for you to explore more and how to adopt this technology. Well, how can AI actually help increase employee satisfaction? By making sure that those employees, they close tickets on time correctly, right? Personalized communication, and by optimizing the processes. Let's see, how will we manage risk for those roles using this technology? By identifying the risks, first of all, based on the content and the documents that we have, utilizing predictive analysis, yeah, and enabling change management by simplifying the creation of the plan, first of all, creating the targeted communication in place, and then, of course, monitoring the whole adoption. When it comes to the KPI operational efficiency, we're going to save time by creating the artifacts that you need quicker. Yeah. Copilot will help you foster a productive culture by creating feedback loops, action feedback loops, and so on, and speed analysis and reporting as well. So on our first scenario, what we want to show you here is these are the impacted KPI by this scenario. This is the value you're gaining out of just this sample scenario. So if you're in operation and you have a shift summary, yeah. So what you can do, you can actually ask Copilot to provide a few brief details. Sorry. You can ask Copilot to tell you to generate a shift report for you. Okay, and to do so, you're going to need to provide like some details, context about what happened on that shift, and then ask Copilot to turn it into a shift report. That can be done with ease from Copilot chat. Moving on, documentation. It's pretty easy now. We've seen how Copilot can create content, and with the ability of attaching documents to Copilot and then asking Copilot to do something, I can attach a document and then ask Copilot to. I can attach certain processes that I've done and then ask Copilot to do the documentation for me. So we have new procedures, for instance, where the documentation isn't written very clearly. I can ask Copilot to create a draft with simpler writing or a different tone and so on. So you would ensure that everyone in the team has clear, understandable procedures. So instruction manual, work instructions can be easily drafted if you have the main context. One more thing that I like about Copilot is fetching information. All right. If you don't remember where you saved something, who sent you that attachment in a certain email? What did this person talk about or mentioned, or what was the task assigned to me? You can actually ask Copilot to retrieve that information for me. As it says here, the manual for a piece of equipment has gone missing. Then ask Copilot to find the required document for you, and Copilot can easily find that document for you. Another scenario here is to create an incident report, right? So if you have the details of what happened, you don't have to sit and write a technical report. You can, even if it's not technical, you can ask Copilot to do it. Well, drafting emails, we've seen it. You can, with ease, draft and schedule meetings as well with Copilot. So this is, in a nutshell, a starter scenario that you might, we call it a chain scenario that you might need to work on all of this under one process. Yeah. Execute a project overview. Well, impacted KPIs, you see? Improve efficiency and reduce risk, and then the value benefit out of this scenario. Let's take a look at this scenario. The effort of this scenario is two, which is buy, because you need the license, because look what's included. Copilot Whiteboard, PowerPoint, Teams, and so on. So this is Microsoft 365 Copilot. So for instance, you can, if you have a project and you have all the project documentations, documents and so on, you can leverage Copilot to summarize related project data on a certain scope. Yeah. You can create a RACI model out of your project documents. Yeah. You can create a scope of work if you want for a certain project. Copilot can help you doing all of that. The benefit, you can automatically extract key project requirements from scattered documents all over your SharePoint and OneDrive, streamlining the process for your operation team. As long as everyone has access to this document, everyone can leverage Copilot to gather the information and draft what they want to draft. Baseline project milestones. Well, if you want to meet with project team to discuss key milestones and project status, you can use Copilot in Teams, for instance, to summarize a certain meeting and extract the action items out of that meeting. And then you can even ask Copilot in Outlook to use the extracted meeting and write an email for you. Or you can use it in Teams. After extracting the action items, you can ask Copilot in Teams, now draft this in an email. I want to send it to people, create a table where you would get to assign tasks, yeah, based on the extracted action items and so on. And you will save a lot of time doing this with Copilot rather than doing it manually. Is there any feature that we discussed, any part of the scenario that we discussed that you'd like to see how we can do it in Copilot? right. Okay. Pulse check. Let's see who's still alive on this call. Raise your hand if you've used Whiteboard, Microsoft Whiteboard. Okay. Raise your hand if you use Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay. All right. Okay. This is great news. A lot of hands, a lot of heartbeat. That's what I want. Thank you. Now you see in whiteboard, whiteboard is for you to brainstorm mind mapping, create add comments, yeah, create a plan or whatever, yeah, using these emojis, or for instance write sticky notes and then say, oh, on step 1 I'm going to do 1 2 3 4, on step 2 I'm going to do 3 4 5, and so on. So that's basically that's it for beside you can annotate, yeah, so you can draw and you can, and so on. So while I'm planning a process, for instance, maybe I will use Copilot to help me on the process plan. So let me show you how. So I will click on Copilot icon, and then Copilot would tell me, oh, do you want ideas or content? Well, yeah. And then I can write the process that I'm trying to visualize in here. I'm just going to stick to the default process that Copilot suggests, yeah? Copilot is saying, suggests ways to optimize my website for organic search without using social media, for instance. Yeah, no, why not? We just want to see the process. So that's the process that we want to understand activities included within that process. So Copilot suggests those activities, 6 activities, but I want to make it harder for the team. So I'm going to ask Copilot to generate more. So it will create more activities. Every time I click generate more, if it can create more, it will. If it can't, you will not see this number increasing. Once you're satisfied, you can press click on insert or delete one of them if you're not satisfied with it and you don't agree with it. I'm just going to insert all of them, but this does not look like a process. So what I can do is I can click on categorize at the top left here on my screen. Now, Copilot will look at those activities and categorize them into phases with color codes and so on. So we got content creation, and then technical SEO, and then user experience, and then on-page SEO happening. I'll click on keep it to keep it, and then I can right-click and ask Copilot to summarize this for me, because I want to tweak the summary and explain it to the team. Or maybe I want to explain what did we do as part of this process. So Copilot will summarize everything for me in a loop component. There we go. So Copilot goes like, well, we got 18 ideas generated on this date by this person. And then the main theme is content optimization, technical improvement. And this is what the team did during this phase. I can immediately share it with my team members or copy the content, send it somewhere else. And there is a link here on this page for this whiteboard so people can access it quickly. It's whiteboard 18. I did not save it yet, but that's how you can use Copilot in Whiteboard. If you like this one, keep it, you're good to go. All right. So I assumed between all the other apps, maybe you did not see Copilot in Whiteboards. That's why I wanted to show it to you. So you can use Copilot in Whiteboard to map mitigation plans, yeah, to top risk issues and categorize all the items at the end of a certain meeting, yeah. So you can do this yourself. You can add the stickers yourself based on the findings in the meeting or a certain research, and then ask Copilot to categorize it for you. Copilot in PowerPoint. Well, you can create presentations with ease with Copilot in PowerPoint. I'm not sure if you've seen Copilot working in PowerPoint or not, but I will assume that you have not. Just show you a quick demo. This is Copilot here. I can create a presentation, and then I can ask Copilot to create a presentation about, let's say, review of equipments, right? And then send that. I ask Copilot to check to create a presentation about periodic review of equipments, yeah. And then it goes like, okay, periodic review of, despite the typos, of course, it understands, and that's the good thing about generative AI. Here are the outlines, importance first, and then the type of equipment requiring periodic review, and so on. Once I'm satisfied, I just click on generate slides, and then it generates the slides for me with ease. So it will generate the content. It will create the images and graphics, titles, animation, presenter notes, the rest of it. There we go. Animated. Agenda overview, yeah, and there we go. It's neat, actually. Yeah. Maintenance safety standards, following equipment lifespan, and so on. And on every slide, it actually adds presenter notes, you see. So it's trying to help you even on what to say in every slide and so on. The rest is modifications. You can open Copilot in here and start editing, adding content, adding slides, removing slides, and so on. Meet with key project stakeholders. So if you have an upcoming meeting, Copilot can actually help you prepare for that meeting. Let me show you something quick, because those scenarios are mainly concepts. So I'm trying to add a bit of demos just to avoid the boredom. So I'm going to take just a second. All right. So let's say I want to research something. I want to prepare for a meeting. Okay. So I'm gonna show you an example that I do. Okay. I have those training sessions with executives, right? CEOs and so on. So I need to be prepared. So what I do is I look up the that's what we do. Yeah, we do our homework. We go to LinkedIn and so on, and we check who is this CEO on meeting and what is their interest and what type sort of activities do they do, and then research the industry and the company in order to relate my examples while I'm delivering a topic or a sales pitch or anything. But this becomes very easy with Copilot because there is an agent called analyst and another agent called the researcher. I actually use the researcher. Okay, so let me give you an example of this. Let's see if I can get my prepared prompt, because I do have a prompt that I use. I hope I did not delete that prompt. Just a second. New one. I'm just gonna go to Copilot. I'll go to my prompts gallery here, where I have my prompts saved. Find public available information. That's the prompt that I need. But I will not run it here. I will run it on the researcher. Okay. So, and my prompt goes like, find public available information about, and then there you go, a person. I'm just going to use myself as an example. I haven't researched myself before, so this is a double-edged sword. So job title, all right, company, technology, all right, LinkedIn profile. I usually share the LinkedIn profile, yeah, but no need now. If I find a LinkedIn profile, just to make sure that it gets the person I'm talking about, because especially in this Middle East, you will find several people with the same first name and last name, so it makes it difficult. So professional background, areas of expertise, and recent project or publications, speaking engagement, and so on. Yeah, so everything. Yeah, social media and so on. Insights into their personal interest, hobbies, and to the rest of it. So that's the prompt. It's ready. I'm just gonna send it now. This researcher. It's not a normal, it's not your typical generative AI. This is reasoning model. You see, on reasoning models, this is compared to DeepSeek. This is compared to model O3 from ChatGPT and so on. So it goes like, okay, I see you want to find public information about Ayman Khalifa and so on. And before it starts researching, it comes back with questions. It goes like, are there any specific platforms or sources you'd like me to focus on? Do you have any preferred format for the final report? Is there any specific time frame for the recent projects and so on? So whatever you want, whatever information you have, you add it would help the research. I'm just going to say focus on LinkedIn, if you can access LinkedIn. So let's see. The good thing about, we will not wait for the result, by the way, because the result takes a lot of time to come back usually, because it's a reasoning model and it's a deep search model. Yeah. So you see here, this is where it dumps its activities. So if you expand by clicking on show more, it will tell you, oh, right now that's what I'm doing. I started search, right? Starting to pull together relevant sources, and then it will move to the next step and so on. So we will let it search, and then we will carry on our content. Come back when the result is ready. Okay. As long as we're here, the analyst, by the way, does the same. It's just for analysis. Yeah. Whether you want to do statistical analysis or financial analysis, that's a reasoning model for analysis. Okay. So prepping for a meeting, you can use reasoning, you can use researcher, or you can use just Copilot in Teams, right? So the simple scenario is Copilot in Teams, which means you go to Copilot in Teams, go to Copilot, go to the normal Copilot, and you have an upcoming meeting. Click on Add Content. Yeah, just make sure you're under Work. Click on Add Content, Add Content. That's a meeting. And this meeting maybe is the Copilot chat alignment with technology, right? There we go. And ask Copilot to help me prepare for this meeting. Mention the agenda, and I want to sound smart, so ask some questions for me to ask. Yeah, I'm just giving you a fun example in here. Sometimes when the meeting is passed, it might not do this because this meeting actually passed. So let's see. All right, there you go, meeting agenda. Between so and so, and there you go, key agenda points, suggested questions to ask, one product on product understanding, and so on. So I got what I actually wanted. So I can prepare for meetings, and then you can post. You can recap a meeting after it happens, and then use Copilot in Outlook in order to send emails and distribute that. So this was the scenario of execute a project review that starts with consolidating the project scope. Yeah, gather more information from Microsoft Teams. And then for that project and the activities within the project, maybe you create a diagram in Copilot in Whiteboard. If you want to create a presentation for that particular project, then you go to Copilot in Outlook. And then to prepare for the meeting where you will explain where are you right now on that project, or maybe you're just pitching your project, so you will use Copilot in Teams in order to prep for the meeting and recap the meeting later on and send your final emails. And that's what we call a chain scenario, or a chain scenario. Any question? Is there any questions at all? No questions? Okay. All right, I'm just checking if my researcher is back or not yet. Not yet. It's taking time. All right. Our next scenario is creating a change management plan. You see, and here are the KPIs impacted and the value benefit. The effort level for this scenario is buy, because you might need to you will need to get the license before you'll be able to execute or perform or do this scenario. So this scenario begins with conducting change discovery. Maybe you want to meet with core stakeholders to understand the change and how it will impact people in the organization. So you can use Copilot in Teams to summarize the meeting with action items, and we've seen this. Now, moving on, you want to use Copilot in Excel to support your data analysis as you build the detailed change impact assessments. Yeah, so Copilot in Excel will help you augment the data, will help you visualize the data, will help you to easily summarize the data and tell the story of your data in a visualized manner. or way. Brainstorming and engagement plan. Again, you can use Copilot in Whiteboard to do so. Once you gathered all ideas, your insights are extracted from Excel. Now you can use PowerPoint in order to transform all the detailed change management plan, from a Word document where you were saving everything into an executive presentation, right? Schedule planned events. Well, you can prompt Copilot to summarize meeting details over time and then manage events easily. You know what I do every day in the morning? I start my laptop. I immediately go to Copilot. Okay. Let me show you how. So I run to Copilot every day and start a new conversation. I have a prompt that I use usually. For a reason, when I accessed my prompts earlier, it wasn't there. Did I delete it or what? Your prompt, no, it's here. It's day planning, okay? So I click on day planning, and this is a prompt I don't want to write every time. Yeah, look at how long is this prompt? All right. So this is basically asking Copilot to generate my daily overview, for this day. What are the unread emails? All right. What are the urgent tasks? Today's task, meetings. All right. And let's carry on. And it would suggest a timetable for me to work on all of these. And this is, and I'm saying on the prompt, be realistic while you're suggesting the timing. So it goes like, okay, from 7:30, you're going to do this, 8:30, you're going to do this, and so on. Yeah. So this is one way to manage events and so on. And of course, this scenario ends with drafting communication in Copilot in Outlook. Any question? Okay. Now you got the idea of the change scenario, and you've seen several capabilities under the effort buy. So in a nutshell, you can draft agendas as you've seen all in Copilot Chat. That's in Teams. Yeah, you can prepare financial content in Copilot in Excel. Turn those financial content into a PowerPoint presentation. Start preparing for the briefing document and the invitation in Outlook. Conduct a meeting and use Copilot during the meeting and before the meeting and after the meeting for the recap, and send your final follow-up through Copilot in Outlook. But if you want to create, for instance, a supplier RFP, you need to extend the capabilities of Copilot because you might need to create an agent. Let's take a look at this scenario. So for instance, at the beginning, you're gonna review previous RFPs, for instance, before generating a new one. So you would use Copilot in Word to summarize multiple RFPs. Back in the days, we were able to attach only one document to Word. So if you're in Word and you want to draft content with Copilot, we were able to click on reference and then attach one document, three documents, 3 or 5, I don't remember. But anyway, with the updated version of Copilot, we call it Wave 2, you'll be able to attach 20 documents in one prompt. You can add 20 documents and then ask Copilot to review those documents and achieve what you want to do. And in this scenario here, generate a list of required items sorted by category, for instance. Yeah. Then this will allow you to get started quickly by analyzing previous RFPs. Moving on now, prompt Copilot to summarize the requirement from an existing document. That is a requirement, summarize it, because I don't want to do the mapping. So what I'm doing here is gathering information. Why are we always go to Copilot Chat to gather information? Because Copilot Chat can attach different types of documents. Copilot Chat is the hub that access all of your Microsoft 365 documents, all right? So you can rapidly pull information from lengthy documents, and this would save you time. Once this is done, you can research questions. You can prompt Copilot to suggest RFP questions, to enhance custom questions that you have, yeah, and so on. And it can actually build an agent to do this for you automatically. Maybe you have this folder on SharePoint where I'm just saying, it's just a scenario. You have this folder in SharePoint where every time you dump information into that folder, it means there is you've done your analysis about existing RFPs and your questions and so on, and then an agent will actually create the RFP for that particular requirement. So maybe you just add the requirement in that folder, and the agent automatically will run and create the RFP for you. To build agents, it's not a tough job. You have 4 ways to build agents. As long as we're talking about agents, let's just pause here. And the first way to build agents is from the Copilot interface. So if you go to office.com or m365.cloud.microsoft, you go to the Copilot chat experience. Yeah, it will populate the interface in a second. And from here, you see these are the agents created by Microsoft. You can click on Create Agent in order to create your own agent. So when I click on Create Agent, should come up with the interface now. It should show me the interface in a second. All right, so this is the interface for you to create agents. Nothing is fancy here. It's just another Copilot. You will ask Copilot to generate an agent. So you can start from one of the templates you see in front of you. So you can start with a career coach. Yeah. You can start with customer insight assistance, idea coach, any of these. Or you can view all templates, or you can describe what you want. So maybe I'll just go like, okay, you are an RFP advisor agent. Your primary function is to assist employees in drafting, reviewing, and managing RFPs in alignment with the organization recruitment policies and project goals. So I need to upload those policies and project goals. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't know. So I'm sending this to Copilot. Sorry, this popped up by mistake. I don't want this anymore. All right. And then Copilot comes back saying, okay, let's determine the name of this agent, first of all. Please confirm if this name RFP advisor is a good to go name. So I'll go like, okay, go for it. Or maybe I would rename it. It's up to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. As simple as that. Okay, now Copilot comes back saying, great, the agent name now is RFP. Next, let's refine the instructions. Now you're supposed to tell Copilot what to do, and most importantly, not what not to do. All right, so to avoid it performing tasks or answering questions you don't want it to answer. Yeah, so I would go like, okay, guide users through the RFP creation process using templates like, and then I need to share a link for my template, for instance, and I have my proposal template in here. Yeah, I'm just going to share that. Hopefully it will understand it. If it doesn't, we can still add the template manually later on, right? And you see, it immediately reflects here. This is where I test this part on the right. This is where I test my agent. And everything I modify gets reflected here. The agent name, you see, the sample prompts, start RFP, review RFP, manage RFP, provide template, yeah, check compliance. That's what I requested, okay? So would you like to add any publicly accessible website as technology resource for the agent? Well, no, you're not providing information about technology. Maybe provide contextual help on sections such as scope, definition, evaluation, criteria, timeline, and compliance clauses, right? So that's another instruction I wanted to do. Maybe I wanted to and it's not necessary to add them one by one. Yeah, I can add all of them in together. I just wanted to demo this to you. That's why I'm adding them one by one. Do you have more? You see, it modified here. Evaluation criteria. Yeah. Okay. Validate RFPs against internal procurement standards and flag missing or inconsistent elements, right? All right, let's do it. So I think that's a good example now. Waiting for it to come back. All right. One more thing to mention to my agent is the tone and behavior, how to reply, yeah, in what tone, in what format, should it reply in an authoritative way or a friendly way, and so on. At any point of time, if I want to test my agent, maybe start RFP, I can type my prompts here, or I can start with one of the prompts suggested in here. So I'll just click here. Can you help me start an RFP, and then send this to my agent, and then the agent would reply. All right. All right, absolutely, Ayman. I'd be glad and so on, but answer these questions first, and that's how you begin. All right. Now that's the description of your agent. There is another tab here called Configure, where you get to configure the agent. Yeah, the name, the description of the agent. But what's important is this part, the instructions. This is the prompt engineering that will yield the result that you want. This is where you tell the agent what to do and what not to do. This is where you tell the agent about the tone. So if you want your agent to reply in a certain way, you have to add that way here. So you go like, okay, be concise. You see, be concise, clear, and policy aligned. Okay, and then avoid so and so. All right, and that's where you control how the agent behaves. If you have a certain knowledge source you want to add for the agent to use, you can attach from here. It could be a public website, a SharePoint link, site, folder, Teams channel, or meeting certain emails. You can attach these, and that will be the knowledge base for your agent. So whenever it's trying to respond or answer or generate something, it will go check the information on the knowledge source. So that's where you add your standards, your policies, your frameworks, and so on. All right. And then other capabilities here, whether you want to enable code interpreter or image interpreter, and these what we call the trigger prompts, yeah, that you've seen, on the right side. Yeah, start, RFP, scope, definition, and you can add more or you can modify these. Once you're done, you save your agent, but for a reason, when this agent got stuck, there was an error saving this agent. Yeah, are you there? Let's see, maybe we will refresh this one. But in short, this is how you create agents. The first way. Yeah. The second way to create agent is through Copilot Studio. So if you go to Copilot Studio, you have similar experience like what we did here. And by the way, the agent that you create will appear under agents, yeah, under here, or inside view all agents. The second way to create agents is through the Copilot Studio, which will allow you similar experience, or you will use similar experience to create agents. Yeah, you got your agents here. Let me switch to my training environment. And that's part of what we do with organizations here in Qatar. So we train, we deliver services as well. So if you're interested, reach out. Now I can begin with asking Copilot to build the agent for me, like what we did earlier, and then I would have the same interface like this one, create, and then Copilot, and then a testing panel on the right. Yeah. So a new agent. And there you go. This is where I tell Copilot what I want, and this is where Copilot dumps its understanding. Okay. Let me go back. I don't have to start from scratch. I can start from a template. Yeah, these are more than the templates that we've seen in Microsoft Teams. I can create a voice agent using this Copilot Studio, which means no one answers your call anymore. Yeah, the actual agent that will be on your help call center and so on, it will be this agent. This one will pick up the phones and so on. So let me take you through a quick. All right, let's see. I got Coach Zazu here. I got Ice Cream Mate Order Buddy. All right, that's just a demo agent to explain the whole idea. to you. You see, in building agents, as I mentioned, once you name your agent, add an icon, description, the most important part is the general instruction. What do you want the agent to do? What policy do you want it to follow, and so on. And then you have the knowledge source in case you want to add some knowledge source, well, whether you want to enable web search or not. Yeah, if you want to add tools, triggers, other agents, all can be added from here. And then you control the the conversation. You see this conversation where it goes like, hello, it's me. Hello, I'm this agent. Yeah. Virtual assistant can help you ordering your ice cream. Are you ready to order? And then you choose yes or no. I click yes. And then it goes like, okay, great. Do you want to collect or deliver? Well, maybe I want delivery, yeah. Confirm your address. My address is here. And it picks it up, and then it asks me, oh, now let's get your ice cream ready. Yeah? Chocolate fudge, and then I want some waffle cone. Yeah, and let's submit the order. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's confirm your order. This. Yes, we're good. That's confirmed. And it would place my order and send me an email that this order is being placed. Yeah, once the email arrives, I will. I got it on my watch, but not on my Outlook yet. I'll show it to you. So once this is, I mean, the story behind this, or the way we created this, is through topics. You see, you have better control here, other than Teams. Here you can go to topics, and then you have to you get to control the conversation. So I have a topic called ice cream order. All right. So if I go to the ice cream order, this is where I control the whole conversation. You see, I started with a question. Great. We craft delightful ice cream. Could you please let us know how you want to carry on? Collect or deliver. All right. And based on this, I have a condition tree now, because if the person or the user or the customer selected collection, then I would ask for the time of collection. The user selected delivery, I would ask for the address, and then I would show an adaptive card with those details, right? And so on. And I used Copilot in most of those steps to generate and to help me refine and so on. And then let's confirm options, and then based on the confirmation, we're doing 1 and 2. And then there is an action, there is a tool, there is a workflow here, and the workflow actually sends the email. Okay, so let me show you the workflow. So if I click on view flow, this does not need any coding, a zero single line of code. Yeah. It's all done by dragging and dropping and so on, and configuring options on the interface. So this is the flow. This is the task that sends the email. Let me go to the designer to show you. Basically, to send an email, I'm going to need some input, and the input I need, whether it was delivery or collection, what's the flavor, what's the container. Yeah, and then the action is to send an email. Email to who? That's my email, and then the details that I'll be sending is this. It's for collection, and then that's the flavor, and that was just a sample. And then at the end, we just say thank you to the end user. You see, the experience is not difficult, but this here is just a very simple agent. You can take this scenario to a whole nother level. Okay, and let me tell you what I mean. You see, agents can come in different contexts and different scenarios, right? Retrieving data is the easiest one of them all. A very simple agent, yeah, to retrieve information, to act as a chatbot, and then respond to the users back. But another advanced scenario is where you ask the agent to automate multiple tasks. Yeah, and in our context, this could be, as we mentioned earlier, a requirement is there. Now let's start gathering skilled people on the organization to suggest the teaming and the grouping for the project, and then we another agent will run the tasks related with creating the RFP and so on. But I have to trigger it. I have to start in an agent and ask the agent to perform a task. But if I want an agent to work on its own without me interfering, we will call that autonomous agent. Those autonomous agents, for instance, I receive an email. Once I receive an email, an agent will start, look at the email, check if we're receiving a new inquiry for a service or a training, and then we'll pass that to the proposal agent. And the proposal agent will start automatically drafting the proposal based on the requirement. So autonomous agents are agents that works on their own. And the building blocks of those agents are workflows, clear workflow for it to follow, and you have to share the instructions with the agents with simple English. Define the trigger. Do you want to interact with it, or you want an event to trigger it? What are the tools that you want to use? Because you can integrate the agent with anything that you want. Yeah. Define the knowledge source, the orchestrator, and then it will use the foundational models. These are the building blocks. What we want to achieve is a coherence. We want to achieve an era where human being and agents work together. All right. So your interface to this era is Copilot. That's why we call it the UI for AI. Copilot is the UI for AI. It's one interface, but a gateway and a door to a whole lot of possibilities, and it's all under your governance control and security control. Back to my scenario. Reviewing requirement with that was the agent part. Reviewing requirements with team, that happens through team, and then review the RFP and draft it with Word, and then final communication is through Outlook. Do you have any question? Any question to me? Anything that I can help with at all? No questions? No questions at all? All right, can I ask questions? All right, I'm opening up some content to share with you. Okay, let's see if you're survived until the end of the session. And if you don't have questions, I have a couple for you. So join me on this Kahoot. Scan the QR code and join the trivia, or click on the link I shared on the chat window to join the trivia. We have one joiner. Who's that? Emmy? Nice. Next. I think most of the attendees of those webinars, based on what we learned so far, they depend on the recording more than the live interaction. Don't you think, Iman?
Yeah, I think so, but I'm pretty sure there's like 1 or 2 people can hear us right now. Yeah, here you go.
Yes,
More
they were
people than
trying. They were trying. They were trying. We were impatient. Okay. All right. We got I'm sure Hamid, if Hamid is on hold, if he wasn't, he would have joined. So let's begin. If you still want to join, you still can join. Just click on the link and join us. Just saving everyone's time, we had to start. So, quick question. What is Microsoft 365 Copilot designed to do? Next. 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 Yep. And Emmy is on fire. I'm sure you've selected this by mistake. There is a problem on this question, so I'm just gonna skip it. Yeah, there was a mistake on the question. So yeah, you need the license to access the M365 capabilities. Next. It's a generative AI tool. You always have to review the answers. Yeah. In what year did Microsoft officially announce the slide, the slide that the Copilot? So some of you said 2025, others have said 23 and 24. Well, the actual answer is 23. Let's see how many of you got it right. 2. Let's see who. That's Amy and Hamid. Next. Type the answer. Copilot in PowerPoint can help you create slides from what? What do you need to create anything with Copilot? You need one thing to generate anything. You need a prompt. 2 got it right. Let's see who. Hamid and Amy. Puzzle. Arrange from the top to the lowest the steps to use Copilot in Word to summarize content. And yep, just start Word, open Copilot, choose summary. You don't have even to type it, and then review the generated result. 13, double points. Which license is required to use Microsoft 365 Copilot features in your apps? Double points. Where is data processed when using Copilot in Microsoft 365? And last question. Double points. If you want to brainstorm new ideas using Copilot, which app is the best to do so? Is it Microsoft Paint? Is it Microsoft Word? Is it Minesweeper? Is it Excel? You have 6 seconds to answer. 3, 2, there you go. Microsoft Word. Minesweeper is not even a Microsoft Office application. You got trapped. next. And the winners are third, Pre, Charlo, and first is Hamid. Yes, Hamid. Yeah, give it up for yourself. We got fourth and fifth, Emmy and Ahmed. Thank you all for participating. At the end of this webinar, we would like to hear from you your valuable feedback. How did we do on the session, and how can we enhance the session moving forward, and how to enhance the future webinars? So I will share with you a feedback form. Please share with us your honest feedback. Would love to hear it from you. And remember, at the end of every session, we don't just disappear. We're there for you. We don't walk away. If you have any question after the session, feel free to reach out. We will be more than happy to help and assist. Just reach out and ask your questions. This channel will be open. You will have access to it, so you can ask your question here, and we will get back to you, or reach out directly to me, and again, I will be able to, or I will be happy to answer your questions. So what I did is I shared on the chat window, I've shared the feedback form. All right, so pay attention to the feedback form here. Okay, please share with us your feedback. And beside the feedback, we have an achievement code for you, a certificate from Microsoft that you've attended this course and so on. If you click on the certificate, sign into Microsoft Learn, and you will be able to redeem your certificate. If for a reason you couldn't, I'm sharing with you the steps of how to redeem your certificate in here as well. At the end, stay connected, keep in touch. I kept my social media accounts and handles in here. And to know what we have planned for you and the future webinars, follow Techknowledge on LinkedIn, and register on the future webinars, and access our website and check what we do to know more about us. At the end, I want to thank you all for your time and for allowing me to present during this webinar. I hope to see you face to face at our premises, and I hope to see you in future webinars as well. Wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you for your interaction and for your engagement. I wish you all the best. Have a good one. Goodbye. Cheers. Assalamu alaikum.